Okay, after a brief 2-week hiatus caused by medical attention required, no big issue though, back in gear now. Thursday, June the 6th, out in the Chilterns, Great Missenden, not the place I intended to be today, because once again, thanks to the railways, I couldn't get to deepest Essex, but that one I'll have to wait for another day. So as a backup, I'm doing book 1, walk 5, Saturday walkers, Great Missenden to Amersham, a walk last undertaken in the winter of 2009 on the old mobile phone, so massively in need of an update. Got slightly different weather today to back then. I had snow when I last walked this walk. Today it's pretty much cloudy. Possible sunny intervals this afternoon, but let's see. Got around 10 miles of walking to do. Pretty decent walking weather. It's about 16 degrees at the minute, so none too hot. And surfaces are dry, which is handy on this walk because there's often a flooded lane, so I read. About 12:45 now, so quite a late start. That means probably an early lunch at Little Missenden, I would have thought. Let's crack on, see what awaits. So after a couple of minutes, we're on a footpath walking out of Great Missenden. Information panel here about Boog's Meadow. With a very crystal clear chalk stream. A rare commodity these days in times of sewerage overflows. Having just crossed a busy road, now joining South Bucks Way. So this area is known as Berryfield. Primary school behind me here. Now walking up Church Lane. South Bucks Way carries on down there through that gate. We cross a bridge over the A413 here, passing St Peter and St Paul, which I can't capture from a decent angle because there's a load of school kids in front of it. Now I got it. And let's not forget that today is D-Day, 80th anniversary of. Let's not forget the fallen. God rest their souls. They would absolutely turn in their graves at the state this country's in today. No two ways about it. Shocking. Men gave their lives for what they thought was the future. A good future. And what do we got? Incredible. Door is open. School kids have gone. So let's get a little gander inside here. Lovely leaded window down there. And a very interesting ceiling, unusual. Decent organ. and the view back. Now out in open country, don't take the faint path straight on, turn hard left here, and the sun's out, great. As usual with the Met, not forecast, not until around 6 they reckoned. Just really are pathetic, the Met. As Mr. Farage says, nothing in this country works. I mean, I've been saying that for years. Looking back towards Great Missenden, whence I've come. First couple of styles of the day here. On through a very flinty wheat field. Combine will have fun with these flints. Style referred to in the text here. 300 metres on from the pylon. Now redundant. Point 12 of the text, which I am glancing at from time to time along with a GPS track. Still seeing information panels about the HS2 works, although my understanding is that none affect today's walk, thankfully, which is possibly why it's taken me so long to re-walk this one. And this HS2 debacle sums up everything that has gone wrong during the last 14 years and the state of this country, really. Japanese would be laughing at this, absolutely. Wouldn't get it going on over there. Earthquake ridden country, they just get on with things. Passing the very attractive Chapel Farm on my right. Always a sad time of year this for me. In the 2-week hiatus, the cow pasture has disappeared or turned over. Get some dog rows coming out, which is good. And elderflower I've noticed quite a bit, but with only 2 weeks to go now or so until the longest day, yeah, my favourite period ends. There is a bit of elder. Now, what is that on it? That could well be what they call a horsefly, I think, which has a nasty bite for us humans. So I was reading in the Walk magazine yesterday. Now entering a short piece of classic beechwood. Birdsong's pretty quiet today as well. I've heard a song thrush, blackbird, seen a couple of swallows and goldfinches actually. Not much else to report really. Walking past one of my favourites, I do believe. Broad beans. Don't think they're field beans. About 550 foot here. Have been as high as 600 already today, but you wouldn't have known it because I was in that cereal field at the time and couldn't evidence it. Here I can. I haven't got the height range today because this was a last minute affair, but yeah, as you can see we're at a decent level. This is Mantles Wood per the map on my left. Now walking through Mantles Wood. Having just left that path behind me. And that old plane flying over sounds like it's been at some D-Day commemoration. Good timing by that train as I cross over the rail line. Just crossed the busy A413 again there. Just gone 2 o'clock, so time for lunch, methinks, in here, little Missenden here. Crossing over the river Misbourne here, M-I-S-B-O-U-R-N-E. St John the Baptist, Little Missenden, my lunchtime stop today. So in fact the little cemetery is just opposite the church over the road, and there's a seat over there that I'm going to take. A bit more tranquil in here. Now this memorial's in an unusual place, and I can't read it clearly. I think it goes back to 1936. Anyway, 2:20, lunch is served. Around 3.5 miles in at the minute, so early into the walk, but needs must. It's actually 3.2 miles into the walk, so around 1/3 of the way in. Okay, lunch has been had, coming up 3 o'clock, and that seat is actually a death trap, as you can see from the broken slat at the back. Almost collapsed when I sat on it, but live to tell the tale. So this church is 10th century. And to be honest, there are other chairs, seats out here, so probably would have been a better option. All the churches today being very patriotic, flying St George's flag and remembering the fallen. A very high-tech church. As you can see, right by the signature book, some amazing murals on the walls. You can read about this on Google. St John the Baptist, Little Missenden. Wonderful organ at the back here. Three o'clock on the button. Clearly a bigwig of the day. Passing the Red Lion, possible early lunchtime stop. Interesting bit of history here. Little playground. Passing the village hall. And then the Crown opposite. So we take a right next to the village hall towards Toby's Lane farm. Now ascending up this sunken bridleway away from Little Missenden. Couldn't film the whole of the pub because there was somebody sitting on the other side, so only half of it got filmed, unfortunately. Toby's Lane really narrows down towards its ending. This would have been cow parsley just a few weeks ago. And here we go, they've started decimating the flowers. Absolutely shocking. And I can see one of the operatives ahead. I think I'll have a chat with him. Yeah, I had a word with him. Not interested at all. His reason for strimming the flowers away was that his governors had told him to do that to allow the horses to pass. So here we are, back to the horses again. They ruin the paths in the winter months. This is a bridleway. They ruin these in the winter months, and they're ruining them in the summer because it's apparently them that are behind the need to decimate the flora. Unbelievable. So much for plant life's no mow May. It's just not being heard, is it? And as usual with these people, they leave their rubbish behind. Still some wet patches about. Today's death, one mangled up fox. God knows what had that. No, it's a monkjack, sorry. Yeah. So as referred to in the notes, this is Toby's Lane that floods in the winter, and in years when you get extra heavy rainfall, as we've had this winter, come to this cross paths, gates left and right. We take the right one towards the hum of traffic. Now following the Chiltern Heritage Trail into Pen Wood, having just crossed another busy road, the A404. Ancient woodland managed by the Woodland Trust. Google that for more info. I can already hear some additional bird song in here. Blackcap for starters. Bodes well. Now this is an ancient beech woodland amongst other trees, but look how it varies to what we saw over in Epping Forest a few months back. Lots of vegetation at a low level, lots of rotting trees and dead wood, and an abundance of song in the background, there being the wren, whereas Epping was absolutely dead. Certainly the section I walked through. So here we are at Pen Green, and there's the Squirrel Pub, a slightly later lunchtime stop for those that want one. And this is about the first part of this walk that I remember, this green. I might have stopped here for lunch in the past. Another modern village hall. and this place is actually Penn Street, not Penn Green. Another potential lunchtime stop is the Hit and Miss here, which I believe is the recommended one. Reference is made to the cricket, not the food, as there's a cricket pitch just opposite. Onward journey though is left here up this enclosed footpath. Yeah, I wonder, that new woodland over there, which I think it is, I wonder if that's got anything to do with HS2. Looks like new works anyway. Maybe one woodland has been removed, another one's been put in its place. Now walking through the mixed woodland of Trago's plantation on the map. A couple of blackbirds singing. Not much else, mind. Song thrushes seem to have gone quiet. Hold on. Winchmore Hill Common Wildflower Meadow, just ahead of me there. And although the text says that that bus stop I've just passed is not particularly useful, the bus I've just seen drop off there actually serves High Wycombe and Amersham and Chesham, so I think they're quite useful. Information panel about Winchmore Hill. Google it for more information. The Potter's Arms is now the late lunchtime stop. And that's because the plough here closed last autumn and remains closed by the looks of it. No for sale sign. Was previously an Italian restaurant by the looks of it. And they tend not to sell property. So hanging on to it and passing it down the family. So I'd be surprised if it was up for sale. Take the footpath opposite this Jubilee Hall. Methodist Hall. Good, sun's out again. Not a great fan, as I've said in the past, of the Chilterns. It's too sanitised for me. Too much of man's footprint on it, like these transmission lines. It's all a bit too twee. And of course HS2 is the biggest footprint you could get. Now entering Coles Hill Plantation on the map, and we're following the Chiltern Way now. Coming out of Coles Hill Larches stroke Westwood. Very nice flower meadow here, a natural one as opposed to a man-made one. Full of oxeye daisies, amongst others, buttercups. Blackcap in the background, a pair of them. Wonderful. Uplifting. Point 43 of the text, and it looks like this could be a muddy section during the winter months. Lovely foxgloves. Just on the outskirts of Coles Hill here, about 524 foot up. Interesting. 1866 to 1951. All Saints, Coles Hill. Clock's right. So that's the third church on today's walk. Doing well. Appropriate that we remember them today, and as usual very few listed in the Second World War. Makes you wonder who we had left to fight after the First World War. God rest their souls. Yep, per the notes the development was unfinished in the autumn 2023, and that remains the case. That's Cherry Tree Farm, per the notes. Sensible fence installed here with the wind slats. Won't be coming down anytime soon. Lots of new development happening down there as we approach Amersham now. Coming into Old Amersham with the flag of St George flying again. Chiff chaffs in the background. Passing the Old Amersham Sensory Garden. Filmed this before many years ago. Now passing our fourth church of the day, St Mary the Virgin, founded 1140. Can't get a good shot of it because of the yews in front of it. I'm guessing this is the old market building. One final view back over Amersham. Well, an unusual ending for this walk because the train was waiting for me at the platform, so I had to jump on and wasn't able to complete the video at Amersham station. Not to worry, it was 11.3 miles, 4 hours 41, and a decent enough walk. As I say, last done December 09 from this book, which the Saturday walkers have superseded. I don't remember much about the walk from the original walk, but very decent walk indeed. As I said earlier, the Chilterns is not one of my favourite areas, but nonetheless a decent outing. Still a bit damp in places, particularly in the Toby Lane area, so you know, in the winter that's pretty much a no-go, or after any wet period. So until the next time, take care.